Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Double Threat. It's a movie starring people you've never heard of, and never will. So, as always, I'm going to give it good, the bad, and the furry. To start off the furry, there isn't any. Moving along, to the storyline, there isn't any. To the good acting, there isn't any. To the good action, there isn't any. Alrighty, so, don't see this movie. It's terrible, terrible fucking garbage. 2 thumbs way down. I don't know how did this end up in my Amazon Prime Video recommended feed, but it is so terrible. Just every single minute that I managed to get into this film was just so god-awful. The acting was just like, do these people even speak English? Do they know the words that are coming out of their mouth? Because it's like they were reading from a script that was just off screen, and the script felt like it was written by an AI from 2007. And you're like, but AI wasn't really writing scripts in 2007. Yeah, that's my fucking point. Jesus, this movie was bad. And like, one of the things right at the beginning that they made this big fucking deal about is that she shot out the back window of his car, right? Like, they make a point not just of shooting out the back window, but of commentating on it multiple times in the scene to be like, oh, but you shot out my back window. And then the next fucking scene, they do a shot for a long, like, gazing shot of the back of this vehicle, and the window's fine. Like, I am not particularly paying attention for continuity errors, but come on, man, do some basic shit. This movie, you'll be shocked, I know, but I did not finish this movie because it was horrible. I don't know what their budget was, or who wrote, or like what tax write-off this was supposed to be, but it was so fucking bad. I couldn't even just hate one. I was like, I have better things to do with my time. The Kevin Sorbo film, Payback Lone Justice, or the Run, whatever, that one was better than this because at least it had its star power. So you know what? You already are definitely not going to see this movie. So I'm just going to go on a little rant about star power. So this movie has no star power. I didn't recognize any of the names involved, and based on their acting, like, sure, it might have been direction and might have been the script, whatever. I don't fucking care. I don't want to see them in anything else ever again. But, you know, the star power. Take a history lesson with me, if you will. So, there was a fine time in cinema where the star power was what drove a movie. You could get shitty movies greenlit if you just had a massive star in that movie because it was a recognizable star, and you're like, hey, just this name alone will bring people in. And then on top of that, most of the time, definitely not going to say all the time, but many times, having that star attached got enough funding to have good action or writing or co-stars or just, you know, music, just general good moviness. You know, it was like rising tide floats all ships type of thing. Good actors brought good things. And then, I don't know exactly what decade it was or what year, but suddenly movie studios were like, you know what? It's not about star power anymore. It's about our film, I don't know, franchises or this, that, or the other thing. Like, suddenly stars could not command the massive salaries and percentages and royalties and everything else that they could during the height of, like, hey, this is star power. And then you know what happened? The studios realized, hey, wait, star power is still a fucking thing. People will still go to a movie just for this star. Like, sure, your IP is great and all, but sometimes the people just care about the stars. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I went to go, well, didn't go, I clicked the button, to see the Rundown, not the Rundown, Walking Tall, Payback, and then started Lone Justice, was because of the star power of Kevin motherfucking Sorbo. So, star power matters. And continuing my rant, that's probably going to annoy some of you, but star power is, in my opinion, the thing that just completely gets ignored whenever some news article comes out about this, that, or the other female star or female co-star didn't make as much as X, Y, or Z male star. And you know what? You want to know why that usually is? I can't recall a single instance where I heard about X movie starring Y and Z people, and one of them was vastly underpaid compared to the other one, that I wasn't like, well, you know, based on the number of movies that that person has been in, based on the box office returns that that has been in, based on the general pop culture knowledge of that person, yeah, it fucking makes sense why that person got paid so much more than that person. Like, there is a math there based on star power that just makes sense. I'm not saying I've read all of the stories, so maybe there's an exception to prove this rule, but it's something that I feel like gets ignored a lot. Just like with this movie, to bring it back, what got ignored with this movie is literally everything that makes a good movie. It is an inspiring, characters. So you have to have a plot that makes any sort of fucking sense. You have to have in-universe, things that make sense. You don't have to, but it's usually a good idea to have a good soundtrack, maybe some audio that makes sense, and then just work on the writing, man. Or have good action. There's been, and maybe this is why it was on my Amazon feed, but there's been a couple of movies where I was like, the general plot was terrible, but the action scenes involved, especially for the budget, was great. This is not one of those movies. It was just garbage plot with horrible action that didn't make any sense, and it was just a giant fucking waste of time. So, don't go and see this movie, and have a good rest of your day, I guess. Yeah, yep. That's all I have about this one. Probably dedicated way too much time to it, but there you go. There's your rant. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the next one, and it better be better than this. Bye.